All right, hello everyone. Paul Tranny here. I'm going to dive into our daily creative challenge for Illustrator. This is day one, so welcome everyone. Henry, Afroja, Steve, Valder, Wade, what's up everyone? This is going to be fun. I get to run it for the next 2 weeks. This is going to be a blast. And as you can see behind me, I can probably move myself out of the way because this is all about design trends. So let me just move myself off to the side. That's what we're going to be covering. So I have a list of trends, and this is just a chance to learn Illustrator, right? So it's for beginners and for those actually who have been using Illustrator for a while. And not only you're going to learn how to use Illustrator, you're going to learn how certain tips and techniques are done. And how certain styles are created. So that's the short of it. That's what you're going to learn. So it's going to be a blast. So this is day one. This is the kickoff, if you will, where I get to sneak some of the projects. Technically, we don't really work on anything, but we are going to make a nice banner in Illustrator for our Behance project. So that is the plan. You can see some of those elements of nature. That's one of them. What else we got? A number of. Oh, there we go. Optical illusions. We're going to do abstract content, expressive characters, all sorts of fun things. So let's just go ahead and jump on into it. You can go ahead and check out the Discord link, which is right above my head. I know my tall hair is getting in the way, but basically that is a link to the Discord that you could easily join. And if I share my screen, I can also show you right over here. So this is what we'll do. Let's do this. Sydney, let's get the party started. Behance.net/challenge/Illustrator. And Lamia and everyone, I'm pasting that for you if you're joining me out there on Facebook. Gigi, Don, and everyone. Yeah, so I just sent you guys the link. I'm watching chat in Behance. But go to that link and you can go ahead and chat with the community, and this is where all the challenges will appear. So I'm going to sneak some of these projects to you today is the plan. All right, but again, chat with community. That's where we get to keep the conversation going. That will open up Discord, as you can see right in here, Illustrator, and today's the kickoff, right? Yeah. So that's the short of it. Today there's no creative challenge, but you might see previous ones in here just so you know. Ours are going to be pretty fantastic, and I'm super excited about it. That's where the current challenge will be posted, and then you can show us your challenges, your examples that you've posted in here. Oh, look at this. Now we start again. Andrew, awesome. Happy new AI challenge day with Paul Tranny. Fantastic. I love it. So let's go ahead and kind of make a banner, shall we? Real fast. Introduce you to some to Illustrator and how it's all laid out and all that fun stuff. So check, just checking audio. And let's make sure I got the music still playing in the background. Yep. All right. So anyways, let's just go ahead and launch Illustrator. Two ways we could actually launch Illustrator, because we actually have Illustrator on the desktop and then also on my iPad. So we'll be using both of those. Here's just some examples of stuff that we'll be making, just so you know. We're going to do sort of a minimalist symbols style, as you can see right here. We're going to be doing some blends and some grains. We're going to distort type. We're going to just create, this is the elements of nature, but that's just the start of one. Okay, and we can get into optical illusions. And there's more to each one of these, by the way. If I pan this around, you can see here's another design, here's another design, optical illusions, and then of course, geometric magic, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And again, there's plenty in here as well. As I start to pan this around, you can see all of that artwork. Okay. Yeah, so Froja and Sydney and everyone, like, there we go. Yeah, these are captioned. I don't think they're captioned live, but I think the on-demand ones might be. I could be wrong. But anyways, you're going to learn new things, whether you're new to Illustrator or not. just so you know, well, let's get into it, shall we? And somebody's Kara's mentioning After Effects. Yeah, we could easily take any one of these line drawings or whatever into After Effects. This is an Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, so that is the deal, but we can bring the stuff into After Effects and animate it. It's always an option. So go to File, New. Right in here, I can pick my size. I typically have these template files set up that I'll have to share with you guys later. But what you can always do is just go with a standard, say, print layout or web layout. Here we have 1366 by 768, so I can go to web. I could do a web large, right? And it's going to be horizontal orientation, RGB color, right? And that's it. 1920 by 1080, which is actually the size of this video. Assuming you're watching on Behance. Okay? So, right in here, the great thing is, hey, this is Illustrator, so it doesn't matter the size I draw this at. I could always resize it, and the scaling and everything is going to stay just fine. It's going to be nice and crisp, right? For those of you pros, you could always create a file and then save it as a template, which is what I did here. So I can do everything customized. Here it is, just like so. If I decide I want to change the size of this page, we can go right over here to the artboard tool, right? And we can go ahead and adjust accordingly. Make this smaller and even change the width and height right up here. So I can say 1900 by, 1000. Something like that. Okay. Muriel, what's up? What's 2504? What's up? That's cool. So here we have it. One thing I like to do, by the way, is have a bunch of shortcuts. You probably have these as well. Oh, Sydney, I started in Illustrator 1 or 2 years ago, a bit after your 8th birthday. Wow, Sydney, welcome. We're trying to reach younger audiences, and I'm glad you're here. Okay. Typically, in Illustrator, we have this properties panel, and you'll have a number of panels that you can move around and do different things with, like I'm doing right now. This goes for all of our products. I can put that back where it was, but you can see them all right here. You could always go into Workspace, and you can change this to, say, Essentials. Boom. This is what Essentials looks like. And then we have Essentials Classic, right? Like that. I personally like something like the Essentials Classic because I always like having my Layers panel up and my Properties panel up as well. Sydney, I'm glad you're joining me for these Illustrator Daily Creative Challenges. I'm so glad you're here. So cool. Properties panel is going to change based on what you have selected. Like I said, artboard, that's what I'm working on now. That's what I have the properties for. If I decide to draw something, draw out a box, for instance, it's going to give me the properties for that box. Want to join Adobe AI lovers? Yeah, I don't know what it is. You'll have to tell me more about it. I'm just going to make some cool stuff, by the way, really fast. Because, again, the goal is just to get started in here. Let's go ahead and we're going to make a banner, okay? I'll make the banner about this size. That's kind of the size I want it at, right? And I could go into the artboard and resize this down. But what you could easily do is jump right up here to the top. Since I was playing with the size of this artboard earlier, I just want to fit it to the artwork bounds. So click that, and now it snaps into place. It is now that size. That's the size of this page, if you will. Okay. We could flip the stroke and the fill back and forth. We can kind of check those two out. I might want to change the fill. Just double click on it, jump in there, and there's your hot pink. Got it, got it, got it. Okay. Sometimes you might have this stroke in front or the fill in front, and it just depends on which one you have selected. So sometimes I'll accidentally have the stroke in front, and I'll be over here in this panel, I'll change it. It's like, oh no, it's changing the stroke. I hate it when that happens, right? You just have to flip it like so. Make sure that fill is on top. In this case, I actually don't want a stroke at all, so we will go ahead and boom, take that out like so. There we have our nice background. Okay, nice background. Let's actually resize this as well. Let's fit this to artwork bounds. There we go. Now it's perfectly in there. Oh, Henry, does the hot pink, it might actually hurt your eyes. I get it, right? We can get into like a soothing tealish. Let's go with an easy on your eyes teal, for instance. But I want something with some pop. All right, so let's throw in some text. I'm just going to grab this text right up here. I'm going to paste in some text. Using the text tool, I'm going to go ahead and click, and then I can start typing, Illustrator, whatever. But I just copied some text to save us time, and there, that's pasted in. And Rose, yeah, I personally like hot pink. I love pink and teal. I like those colors. Okay. Here we are. By the way, if you're used to using Photoshop, look, everything could be on one layer. If you twirl this down, oh, you'll see these different shapes or elements that are on this one layer. So just keep in mind that there's like these sub layers within a layer, right? And that's what's going on. Okay. So what I could do is I could actually take this out. So we'll cut it. We could add a new layer, and then I could paste it on top. There we go. Now you can see this is kind of more set up like Photoshop. The reason I usually do this is I will have a background layer and I'll lock it. So now I'm not accidentally going to move it around, right? I'll go over here. Let's select this. Text, let's change its color. I gotta get moving, people. This is a Acumen variable concept font, which I love because I want to change the weight. Let's do something like that. There it is. Maybe take this, Illustrator, paste. Now I have these two Illustrator elements. I'll cut this as well, paste, and now this text is all on is actually 3 different elements, right? Yes. Reverb Mike, you're a better man than I am. You name your layers. I don't always do it. Let's get into some of this text editing. Let's jump in here, right? We want this to be like a superscript. We'll go to these 3 little dots, and you get all these other crazy options in here. So look at all this we have for the text. So much control that you have. Don't let it scare you, but in this case, we want to make it superscript, right? Bam, superscript. And bam, superscript. Okay. Done and done. By the way, so I'm going to show Illustrator for the iPad. I love Illustrator for the iPad. It's probably my favorite, that and Fresco, but it's probably my favorite iPad app, right? So there we are. Speaking of which, now that I have this somewhat laid out, let's go ahead and save it. And we're going to save this. I could save it to my desktop as an Illustrator file, like so. That's one way I'm going to save it. And also for this, we can export for screens, we can export out this banner. So export for screens, it's just going to put it right next to that current file. It's going to be a JPEG at 80%, right? And then just click export artboard. Boom, it's done. And there's my graphic, right? So that's typically just kind of where I'd start. I would make that my Behance. I'd make my Behance project, B-A-H. Let's jump in here really fast. Let's go up here. We'll go to create project. And then we can go ahead and add an image, which would be the one I just exported out. There it is. Okay. Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, February 1st through 12th. There we have it. Let's just save this as a draft. I don't want to publish it yet, but then all of my work could be in this project. Okay. Another place I'd post it is right in Discord, just like Andrew did. Good job, Andrew, but I better step it up. I got to step up my Illustrator game if I'm actually going to post it there. So let's just jump in here. Let's add, you know what? Not just a gradient. I'm going to add not a linear, right? Not a radial, but I'm going to add a freeform gradient. It's this third one right here. Bam. And now I have, let's pull this out actually, have these lovely little points that I can work with. So here's one point. That's going to be that color. We're going to add another point down here since I like the hot pink. Yeah, I do. Right, like that. We'll throw another one right here. We'll make this one yellow, like so. And we already have something much more interesting. Right? Just some easy color transitions. This one I might want to make maybe a little bit more blue or something. You get the idea. And I can move these around all I want as well. Cool. You guys get the idea. So it's looking a little bit better. I can actually get into some more abstract things as well. Keeping track of the time. Let's do this. Let's throw in a circle, right? It's gonna still have that same gradient, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of into this like color wheel look, right? But with it set up like so, I can change maybe the blend mode to something like overlay, right? And now we have this cool shape that I can start to have interact with other shapes. So let's make two, right? Like that. So this is all about us as a community coming together. That's what this symbolizes. And you can see what's happening with those two lines. I'd even take these, by the way, and I would blur it. I would do, let's do a little blur. Things might slow down a little bit, but not to worry. Blur, Gaussian blur. There we go, 74 pixels, something like that. Ooh, look at that cool blur. Awesome. Apply Gaussian blur for this other shape as well, right? And now I have these cool, fun spheres that I can work with. So I can actually have one larger, and actually maybe this one's up here, you know, just kind of playing around with this, creating these cool like spheres of color, right? Just for kicks, right? I get this one's hard to read. I could rotate it actually. Let's do like that. Right, just having fun. I could have these things off of the artboard and still go to export for screens. There, it's going to export it. Let's replace that current one. This one is much better. And then let's go ahead and add it as part of my project, but also drop it right in here. So this one actually might be too large. Let the designing begin. There it is. Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, full of color, full of life. All right. This is going to be, again, a lot of fun. Cool. Keep in mind, there's going to be, this is all about design trends. So we're going to tackle 9 different design trends, and it's going to be pretty awesome, right? Cool. Oh, since I still have time, I get to do what I wanted to do. Right over here. Let's jump over to, we have this file currently on my desktop, but what we can also do is we can save as, and we could save it as a cloud document, and we'll just call this banner, and I'll save it. Okay. Saved it as a cloud document, and that will sync. Let me switch over. Here I am, Illustrator on the iPad. So here you can see that same file. I can go ahead and open that up in Illustrator. Muriel, what's up? Good to have you here, Claudio, as well. This will open up one thing that currently the Illustrator on iPad is missing is a couple things, but let me actually double check before I. Oh, never mind. It has everything. I forgot. Anyways, I could take a look at those colors. Look, we have these little spot gradients are actually in there still, right? And I can add to them. But just showing you that everything pretty much comes over. We're still working on things like the blend tool, some other stuff, but you can see all the layers like so. And not only that, the text, if we decide we want to have a little bit more fun with it, yeah, we can definitely have a lot more fun with this text for sure, as I've changed it as well. All right, Sydney, I got invited to an Illustrator Lovers thing. Awesome. Hopefully it'll come my way, and it'll be awesome. One thing I like about Illustrator on the iPad is, if I take a look at the fonts right down here, look at that More Fonts button. Click right there. Here's all these lovely fonts, right, that I can access. So I want to have something, I don't know, let's go with shaded. Boom, Daily Creative Challenge, way cool. You can go ahead and add that font and use it right away, which is really cool. So, yeah, sorry, yeah, I'm down to my last couple minutes. I'd say this looks pretty good. We can go in here, we can make this one all caps. We can make this text all caps if we want to. I typically think the smaller, the more elegant. So I would just go ahead and size that down like so. And make sure this fits in there nice and neat. Okay? You guys get the idea. Boom. Done. How does the iPad work? I think it's made of a bunch of chips and circuits and pipes, and I think it runs on Steam. I think that's how an iPad works. But that is Illustrator on the iPad that we're currently working on. Let's switch back to my desktop. So, by the way, file, open. We see all my cloud documents. There it is. We can go ahead and open that back up. All right. You guys get the idea. What else shall we do? Am I already done? Oh. I would have more fun with this, by the way. So, I would probably cut this out. I would paste it. I'd put these on different lines. Maybe offset it. And maybe even do something like this. A circle that kind of comes down. And then this text is inside of it. Cool. All right, everyone. That is it for me. Just playing around at this point. Hopefully you like what's going on. Create a fun banner. You can post it to Discord, Illustrator, right in here, and I'd love to review and see what you got. fantastic. Thanks so much, everybody. It's going to be fun tackling all these fun design trends. Everything starts in Illustrator, it seems. And thanks so much. It's going to be amazing. If you think you know Illustrator, well, there's so much more that you can learn. So it's going to be a lot of fun, everyone. So stick around. Join me tomorrow and stick around for more live stream goodness today, everyone. Okay? Thanks so much. Thank you, everybody. You'll see the schedule right down below, but I'll let you guys go. And we will see you tomorrow as we kick off our very first design. Thanks so much, everyone.